Hey, what's going on, guys? Got a new video coming out here in a little bit, but for right now, finally got it outside. Finally see the wheels. Today's episode, we're gonna get these fenders permanently mounted. Gonna lift the front end up probably about 2 inches. Get the headlights in. Get the LED light bar permanently wired. Get the front bumper back on. Sorry about that. We got a plane flying by. Right now I got her running. Get her warmed up. She doesn't run very much. All she ever does is sit. Got that Blitzner Spec R exhaust. I'll show you guys how wide my front end is compared to the rear. You can see that about 3 inches wider on each side. Still need to do alignment though. My angle isn't nearly as maxed out as it should be. But alright guys, I'm going to pull this in the garage and we'll get started. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. We're in the garage and I got all closed up, got the heaters running. Still cold out. And we got the car in here now, so our first step's going to be to jack the car up, get it up in the air. I don't have to remove the wheels to do really anything to mount the fenders. Everything will clear. I've already had it on with the wheels on. So we'll get it jacked up and start from there. Alright guys, so I got this jacked up now. Basically what I'm going to do is, we got these perch nuts here. I'm going to adjust those probably about 2 inches. When I put the kit on, I thought maybe an inch would be enough, because when I was running stock control arms, I had this all the way down, and I ran it up an inch, and it actually sits lower than it ever did. Guessing it has to do with the geometry, with the longer traveling arms and whatnot. It's getting more leverage off the coilover, so I'm going to raise it up probably 2 inches if I can get it. I don't even know if I have that much threads left, because threads stop here. But I'll try and get it up as high as I can, because I can't even put the fenders on with the way it's sitting. The wheels will smack the fenders. Be right back guys, and I will grab the tools for it and we will start this. Alright guys, so these are the tools you're going to need to do this. Got your 2 perch wrenches and a good old trusty hammer. So basically all I'm going to do is loosen those up, raise them up 2 inches, and then we're going to go to the other side and see what happens after I get them both done. I'm going to switch cameras and switch this over to a tripod. But real quick, I'll show you guys. Now you can see it's daylight. You can see all the suspension components. Back in the rack we have, let me think, what's the brand? They are Super Cutter rack spacers. There's one on each side. They're like 6-7 millimeter thick, real thick. I bought some UROS 5 millimeter ones. I didn't use them because I thought maybe I could use all of them on both sides, but the actual worm gear inside the rack won't let you go that far, and if there's too much play in it, you'll just ruin the rack. So I took them out. I didn't use them. You can see here this crazy overkill Figs outer tie rod with a Heim joint. It's pretty crazy. You can see right here the gap that I was talking about in the last video about. This is pretty much, once this is hitting, this is the max I can get out of my steering. Got your upper Heim joint, spherical bearing, and a lower ball joint. Got more spherical bearings on the other side. You can see now my rim clearance. It looks like more on the camera, but it's actually like about an inch. On the bottom, see, there's a lot more. That's probably about 2 inches. And a lot of people would think this is weird, but you have to run the brake line backwards. Normally it bends out, but it has to bend in because it has to wrap around the coilover. And then you have to run it a certain way in order to get it up to where the brake line mounts. So the knuckles, I'm going to just go over the brands of the parts. Obviously the Figs engineering kit, the Tine, I don't know how they call it. These are basic coilovers. These are not staying on the car. These are only going to be on the car for probably a couple more months. I have a BC sponsorship I'm going to be signing for, so I'll be running BC coilovers. You have Crazy Russian modded knuckles. These are straight from Russia. Had a good buddy lives out in Russia, does all that crazy drifting out there. He has a little small company making modded knuckles. As you can see, if anyone knows the Supra and the SC series cars, normally there's an ABS sensor right there. They don't have that. LS400 rotors and LS400 4-piston calipers. A little quick story on the calipers is pretty cool. Most people pay like $200 for these calipers. Like if they're like new condition, they're usually like $300. Some pretty like poor condition, you can get them for like $100. I got these at my local junkyard in pretty nice condition for what they are. I got them for $25. The junkyard basically said they can't guarantee they work. The wreck car that they came off of, LS400, was sitting in their junkyard for over 8 years. So these calipers been in the junkyard on the car for 8 years. And they had no idea if they'd work. I kind of had an idea they would work because it's mostly an aluminum caliper. There's not a whole lot of steel to it. The only steel was like the pistons and stuff, which I could replace, but I tore apart and rebuilt the whole thing, and it was in really good shape, so I just reused everything except for seals. And it works beautifully, don't leak. That's pretty much it for that. Can see better now the Miro wheels I just picked up. So I'm going to switch over to the tripod camera, and we're going to get started on trying to raise this sucker up. Alright guys, be right back. Alright guys, I got the tripod up. We're going to start on this. Let's see. The first thing I'm going to do is break this loose. I pretty well tighten that with the hammer. Oh, damn it, there goes our light. Just smack this. And there it goes. So now it should be loose. Oh, maybe not. I didn't think I'd tighten it that tight. There it goes. Alright, so what I want to do is basically try not to loosen the bottom one. Just tighten the top one up. So that way I can measure off of that. I mean, otherwise I'm going to have to measure all the way off the bottom. Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to even freaking tighten it. But it's already getting tight. Yeah, I don't know. That's already really tight. I already spun this thing, so now we'll do this. We'll just have to do it this way anyway. Run this one all the way down. That one's tight. Now try and run this up more. Oh man. Yeah, it's really tight. Fuck, I'm gonna have to either gonna have to remove the wheel so I can get more leverage and use a pipe, or I'm just not gonna get it any higher. Oh man. Alright guys, probably gonna have to remove the wheel, get a pipe so I can get more leverage. It's pretty damn tight. It shows just how soft the springs are for their travel, but how soft they are for the like actual ride height. Well, if you get what I mean, like they're really long and soft, so when you put the car down, with them being so soft and long, they travel really far. And just doing it by hand, it's just enough friction, and the spring's just tight enough that you can't turn it by hand. Normally, if it was a short, stiff spring, really wherever you turned it, it would barely sag. But with it being such a soft spring, it sags a lot, and there's just enough tension that it makes it hard enough to turn. Oh man. So I think I'm gonna have to take the wheel off and put a pipe on this and try and crank it some more. Alright guys, I'll come right back and... Alright guys, we're gonna remove this wheel and try and get this going. One of the most handy tools ever. Get that off there. Alright, so let's bring this over here. Now we can go like this. It's a lot better this way. Can actually probably try and get the bite back here. Do a quick measurement. I'll make sure this bottom one's on tight. That's how I measured it. Let me find a tape measure. Alright guys, I got a tape measure. Let's see this. So we're about almost an inch and a half. They're about see, we're 7/16, an inch and 7/16 up. So try and get it. I don't think we're honestly gonna make it 2 inches. So at least try and hit the 2-inch mark. Oh shoot! What I need the pipe there. Keep going away at this. Do a quick check. And we are 5/8, getting there. Slowly but surely. Alright, so 3/4, a little over 3/4. We're getting close to the top. There, we are now 7/8. Oh, I just dropped that stinking wrench. Alright guys, I'm gonna shut the camera off. This is probably boring you. When I come back, this should be all done. Alright guys. Alright guys, I got it on. It's up as high as I can get it. Basically I got it 2 1/4 inches up. That's a maximum I can get it. It's gonna run out of threads if I go any higher. The last thing I want to do is cross thread that, because eventually these will go to somebody that will enjoy them for a street car, not a drift car, because it's way too soft. So you never know, one of you guys might be a lucky winner. Maybe I'll do a giveaway. But yeah, they're up. I'm gonna put the wheel on, get the wheel bolted back up, and then we shall see how it looks, the way it sits on this side at least. Let me grab this wheel, make sure. Probably a lot easier if I didn't have the wheel turned, but it's whatever. The wheels aren't exactly that heavy, these are pretty light wheels. You want to talk some heavy wheels. Some freaking diamond racing wheels. Retarded ass heavy wheels. Probably wondering about the impact while I'm just running them in as hard as I can. It's because this impact has the ability to torque these at 100 foot-pounds without needing a torque wrench or a torque extension. I can just do it like this. It will only torque 100 foot-pounds. Wish what I got one of these years ago. Alright, we'll pull this light out, and we shall see how it sits. Will it sit any better? Or is it still going to be super low? Oh shit, you know what? I forgot one thing. There's still a jack stand under it. helps to get that out. Never jack a car up without a jack stand. I don't know if that's how it'll permanently sit, but that's pretty dang good. Straighten the wheel out to see. That's pretty good. Alright guys, well, that's not bad. It's not bad at all compared to this side, which, I mean, it sits a little higher on this side because the other side's picking it up, but I couldn't even get my hand in there. So, that's a lot better. We shall work on trying to get the fender on, maybe. Or we'll do the other side. We'll do the other side. Alright guys, when I come back, we'll be working on trying to install these fenders. I'm going to do the other side off camera. You guys get the gist.